Okay, thank you, Elin, for joining this conversation. Lovely to digitally meet you, and look forward to our conversation today. I think we can just start off, a little bit of background about who you are and what your role is, what your responsibilities are.
Yes. My name is Elin Ågren. I have a background in law from the University of, in Bergen, and I've specialized in maritime law. So my role in OSM is mainly working with claims, but of course I do a lot more than claims. But that's me in short terms.
Thank you for that lovely introduction. And you joined OSM last year. How's the journey been within OSM so far?
Yes, I joined OSM last year in August due to a purchase by OSM of the ship management part of the ship owner I was working for. So before joining OSM, I actually knew very little about the company. I knew very little about management companies in general, as I had only worked for Norwegian ship owners previously. But I must say that I'm impressed on how the company adapts to changes, also taking on board the management part that I represent, so all the vessels that we had. And also I see that the company also adapts to so many changes in the industry in general, and it ensures a sustainable and responsible growth of business, and that's very good to be a part of. And also I learned this fall, I've seen that the slogan that OSM has, "It's all about people," really fits the company. Because it is important. It's the clients, but also the people working, and yeah.
Hmm. That's a very interesting and good observation. I mean, yeah, it's easy to put a slogan up there, but to live up to it's a different story. So it's nice that you recognize that in your sphere, and that you see that's actually true.
Yes.
I mean, this is a typical topic now these days. Obviously everybody's still talking about it. We're still dealing with it. I guess it's to some extent unavoidable, but how's it been like transitioning into a new job in the COVID-19 pandemic? Because that, I think, is a bit interesting. It's not like the typical way of joining a company, right? So how did that look like from your perspective? How was that experience?
Yeah, true. Who would have thought that this pandemic would last that long? But yes, well, basically, since I'm very much doing what I've done also at my previous employer, the ship owner, adapting to the changes or the role and the work that I do has not been very difficult. COVID-19 hasn't really made an impact on that. Of course, new colleagues. I haven't met any of them physically. For example, in Arendal, or I met some, of course, but there has been less physical meetings. But also, I think Teams is working very well. The organization is very good in providing information to everyone. So yes, of course, social gatherings and parties is postponed, but I think we have something to look forward to. And no house welcoming parties for OSM Bergen office, but maybe in the future we can also meet our clients physically.
I love that perspective, by the way. We have something to look forward to. And I think a lot of people feel that way. It's like, oh, look forward to meeting the colleagues again, look forward to meeting the clients. And I like that hopeful take on it,
Yes, I think we have to have some hope.
Yeah, I agree. That's important. Okay, so what does a typical day at work look like for you? And especially, let's get into a few of the details around how it's like to work with handling insurance claims and the challenges that come with that type of work.
Yes, a typical day would never look the same. First of all, you never know when an incident will occur. Normally, I have the impression that they occur either during late evening or during early morning. But that's also the challenge, and that's also the fun part of it, because you get to use your abilities and knowledge from previous claims. I've been working with a large variety of claims, all from fires, collisions, cargo claims, people claims, and a claim is never the same. What is the same is that the time element is very important. You have to take the correct decisions at an early stage, and who knows what a correct decision is, and which stage is that. Also, you always have to have in mind the priorities, so people, environment, and assets. And if you consider the time element and these three priorities, I think you're getting very far in a claim. And then, when you are ready to settle a claim, of course the days are more quiet, but also then you need time to focus, and that's when you clear your calendar just to focus on the details, presenting the insurance claim maybe towards the insurers or settling with a third party. But as I said, a claim is never the same, and that makes the world very, very interesting.
I can imagine. It sounds really complex, and having some heuristics and some good rules of thumb sounds like provides some sort of stability in the midst of everything, since everything else is changing. Yes. Having that direction and structure seems important.
Yes, and I think also the advantage of my role is that I get to work with so many different persons. So normally in a large event it would be an emergency team being set up, and you get to work with the technical department, the crewing department, and you get to learn so much and really challenge yourself on a knowledge. And yes.
It sounds both fun and exciting. I think I would like to hear your thoughts on OSM's newly established in-house maritime insurance broking company. You being an expert in the field, what do you see as the biggest advantages for clients to use OSM as brokers?
Yes. This fall, when we joined OSM, or the insurance team from the ship owners, which I was a part of, when we joined OSM, we were part of establishing OSM's in-house maritime insurance broking company. So OSM Maritime Insurance Services it's called. And that's it's a fully licensed broking company who can offer maritime insurances to our clients. And the biggest advantage for our clients when they choose to use us is that we are so close to the clients and to the business of the clients, and this gives many advantages. And I believe that we can offer more competitive insurance programs because we know the business to the clients very well. And also, since I'm working with claims, I want to say that we can handle claims for or assisting the owners on claims in a very good way compared to maybe other non-in-house insurance brokers. Because in OSM we can also utilize the whole team, the technical departments, and all those services and knowledge that we have within the company when handling these claims. So it is many advantages, and these were just a few, of course.
Thank you for that insight. I guess another interesting topic to hear your thoughts on would be the maritime industry and how it's evolved over the years. I mean, we're coming up now on the International Women's Day, and from your perspective, maritime industry has typically been a male-dominated industry, but to my experience, that's changing a lot. You've been part of that journey. What's your perspective on the sector? How the companies are pushing for equality and diversity, and how do you see that?
Yes, I joined the industry 10 years ago when I finished my studies. So as you say, the maritime industry is developing, and it is recruiting more women, and it's recruiting the best people. But I think we're still far from that balance that we need. We still require more women to join. Not because they're women, but because there's so many good candidates to fill the various positions that the maritime industry has.
Mm. And on that note, what's your message to other girls and women that want to get into the maritime industry? How would you provide them with encouragement, and what would you say are the highlights of working within the maritime sector?
Well, learning about the industry, that would give a lot of insight in the industry, and I think that learning more about the industry would trigger also the interest even more, because working in the maritime industry will give you challenges, it will give you opportunities to grow, and it's and I also said earlier in this talk. The industry is so dynamic and changes very fast, so it's a fun place to be working in, and it's a place to be regardless of gender. So absolutely, I recommend it for everyone, and especially females who doesn't know how it is.
Well said. Well said. This has been a lovely conversation, Elin. I think the last question I'd like to ask, or the last thing I'd like to put out there is, what are your thoughts on OSM going forward? What's your hopes for the year to come? Let's wrap things up by hearing what you think about that.
Yes. Well, my hopes for OSM going forward, we're already a leading company within the maritime industry. But of course, what I want for OSM is to grow on size, to be number one in size, but it should never be by compromising on quality, because that's I mean, you don't want to represent anything but quality. And we should also remain to be recognized for the quality we deliver, also by other competitors. So we have to be the company setting the standard as we do today. And if we follow these rules, I think that's why our customers will still choose OSM in the future. So a sustainable growth, or with high focus on quality and responsibility.
There you go. There you have it. Big, audacious, responsible goals for the future.
Yes.
Well said. Once again, Elin, thank you so much for this conversation. Thank you for giving us a peek behind the doors of what's going on within claims and insurance, and telling us a little bit more about your journey and the challenges that you're working with. And I both believe and hope that this video in itself could probably be a very good source of inspiration for people who are interested and want to learn more about the industry.
I hope so too.
Yeah. So yeah, thanks for the conversation, and have a lovely day.
Thank you. You too. Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye-bye.